Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sammy with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the show Hypnotic. This is a Netflix movie. It came out last year, so if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend that you do, because this video is filled with a lot of spoilers. So let's begin. So our show starts off with this lady. Her name is Andra. She also plays a very key role in the movie, I guess. Just keep her name in your memory, alright? So we start off with her. She's all panicking. We see her on the phone trying to get through to somebody, asking for help, saying that she's being followed. We're not sure from whom. So we ended up going with her to the elevator, where she gets a phone call by an unknown number. And keep remember this unknown number, okay guys? So she get the call and instantly she starts to freak out, right? After the person tell her the phrase, "This is how the world ends." And then all of a sudden, okay? So now we meet the one of the star role, Jen, right? She shows up at her best friend's party with a dead plant. Anyways, yeah, so she showed up and her friend comes out like, "Jen, I've been trying to call you. Your ex is at the party. I know you guys don't want to see each other, but he's here." So anyways, Jen she went in, and instantly you know that she and his ex definitely, they didn't leave off. I wouldn't say that they left off on a bad note, because you can say that they still love each other. Like, the crazy love that they had for each other was so obvious. Like, the intense eye contact, girl. So anyways, now we get introduced to the cycle. Like, from me, they made it so obvious though that this guy was the crazy one. Like, just the way he was looking at her was just, it was just giving me creep vibes.
Apparently.
Maid, very nice to meet you.
He's magical. Changed my life.
And he's not even hot. So the best friend, Gina, introduced Jennifer to the doctor, the therapist guy. His name is Dr. Mead. And she's like, "Hey Jen, I think you should go and see Dr. Mead. I think you need therapy. Go and see him." Which is very weird, because I don't know, that's not something you throw at your friend in front of somebody at that. Like, I don't know, maybe my friendship is different in my case, but that's what she did, and it was just so mind-blowing to see she did that. Just putting her best friend on the spot like that. So anyways, now Brian and Gina and Jen and her man, that's Gina's man, were having a conversation. You know, just random stuff was happening just to catch up, and then Dr. Me just interjected himself in the people them conversation, which was really fucking weird. Like, who does that? I don't know. I'm introverted as hell, and I won't see a bunch of people talking and just ease myself in. So anyways, he does this and instantly brought his attention to Jennifer, like, "What do you do?" And this is where we found out that she's a engineer. So now,
Brian. Is there sesame in that? Oh my god. Brian, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
there's sesame in this. This is how we know that he was allergic, and just keep that in mind, because just remember, Brian is allergic to sesame, okay? So during the party, and sometime when Jen was alone, Dr. Mead had slipped his card to her, like, anytime you actually feel like you do need therapy, just come and talk to me. And that was that. So after the party, Jen was outside waiting on her Uber, which was a bit late, and Brian came out, and they had a small talk, and one thing led to the next, and they ended up hooking up. She woke up the next day feeling so much regret, and anyways, she did that, and she was telling all of this to Gina, the best friend, the next day. And again, Gina brought up, I think you should go and see Dr. Mead. It will help you get over all of what you're going through, blah blah blah. And basically guilt trip her best friend into going to see the doctor, saying, if you're not going to do it for you, at least do it for me, crap, and all those those lovely things. So we're at Dr. Mead's office now, which in all honesty I love it. Like the colors just spoke to me. I love a dark room, and it had like this black and little bit of red and some grays. Like the room just popped to me. I would meet this crazy girl, like she just seemed loony. It's bad to judge, but that's how she looks. She looks crazy.
Whatever you're here for, Dr. Mead will fix it.
Yeah.
He's waiting for you.
So now we meet her and Dr. Mead, and they're both talking, and she just gave him the basic rundown. But we all know him that got asked. Like this topic didn't even surprise me when he asked her.
Tell me about you and Brian.
So yeah, my man bring up Brian, right? Asking how that's going, and then him slowly just easing, why don't you try hypnosis, right? And he's like, and he gave her the book, like, you have full control over your mind, so there's nothing to be worried about. And obviously she's going to trust him, because she's like, this man is in this profession for years, and my best friend recommended him, right? Like, she's legit going to him, so why not? And I don't know, I'm a bit iffy, because I don't, if somebody's going to perform hypnosis on me, I don't know, it's not that I don't trust you, and I'm not going to feel safe. Even though you're my doctor, I feel really good to know that somebody's there to watch you doing what you're doing. Because people can be disgusting. I'm pretty sure I've read an article where there was this doctor man who was hypnotizing his patients, and then when they were under, he was SAing them. Okay? So it's really crazy, but she did it. Put her under. And when she woke up, like, an hour had gone, and she couldn't believe it, that she felt refreshed and whatever. So fast forward now, 3 months after, you basically found out that she has been seeing Dr. Mead once a week for the past 3 months, and he's been hypnotizing her each session. This time now, you know, she started to ignore Brian, because she's think the therapy, the hypnosis is working. So she gets a new job, she feeling like she can conquer everything. And she's telling her friend this, and this is where her friend is like, what? I've only been hypnotized by him like a couple times, like once I think she said, or twice. And so why do you need to be hypnotized every session? And she's like, because Jennifer was basically telling her friend, like, girl, do you not see you have your life together? So you don't need hypnosis. Like, you're perfectly fine. I'm like the, you know, the one who needs all the help. So you're completely fine. So just say, count your blessing, basically. Oh, so by now, Jennifer was dreaming about Dr. Mead. Like, legit dreaming about waking up beside him in bed, him touching her skin, and, you know, obviously that gave her like, okay, I spend maybe too much time with this man, I need to back off. And she stopped going to him for a couple of weeks now. So now we find that she went to this place and just, you know, looking around, and all of a sudden she turned on and there is Dr. Mead.
Jennifer?
Hi.
Hi. You look fantastic as ever.
Much? So, like, dude, it's so friggin' obvious that, like, you're freaking stalking her. But anyways, she turned around and she see him, and he's like, Jennifer, looking good. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. What's happening, girl? No, I call her girl, but obviously. So what's happening? And she really tried to play it off, like, you know, I've been busy, blah blah. And he invited her out to coffee, which she agreed. Like, girl, why would you just make up an excuse? I don't know, I have an errand to run, I'm busy, something. But anyway, she went out with him, started chatting him up, him a chat her out. And then him, obviously, because that's the main thing I was asking about, he brought up Brian again, like, how are you and Brian? How you feel about him? And she admits she still have love for him. And he's like, you know what you should do?
You can take it or leave it, but I think you'd be wise to take it.
Okay.
Invite Brian to your place for dinner tonight.
No.
She immediately disagreed, but he persuaded her, saying that, yeah, I think you should do this. So we now see where she was heading to her car, where she got a phone call from a unknown number. That same damn unknown number that keeps calling. So after answering no, it's like the movie cut and we go to where she's around the dinner table, like she's coming to, because you could see that she was spaced out. And then when she came to, she was around the dinner table, not sure what the hell was happening. And then she heard like a groan, and when she looked, there was Brian on the ground, dead. Brian was dead. Okay. He wasn't dead, but he was close to dying. Okay, he had an allergic reaction. She stabbed him with the gun thingy and rushed him to the hospital. So while she was there, because this dude is in a coma now, because who know how long he was actually there underground while she was out of it, right? So now she's outside the hospital, and her friend is trying to, you know, comfort her, tell like, girl, this could have happened to anybody. I almost killed him at my party with the sesame thing, right? So it could have happened, it's just an accident. She's like, she don't remember what happened. Like, how could she not remember? There's bits and pieces going missing from her memory, just like when she does the session with Dr. Mead. So her friend tried to play it off like, girl, no, there's nothing wrong. You just go home, go rest, and whatever. So the next day she got to Dr. Mead, and she basically told him what happened and said like, yo, I noticed some similarities here. This happened, like, I'm losing memory like when I do sessions with you. And obviously it's going because she's starting to be a little bit sus. And he's like, girl, it didn't say girl.
Do you remember what I told you the first time we discussed hypnosis? That only you have the power, control over your subconscious.
And I'm like, this asshole, like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. But she ended up leaving there. I know Jen is like crazy, having some crazy ass dreams, and it's always like the same dream she keep having, and then like little bits and more keep coming in pertaining to that like specific time. So it's like 1 minute she'll dream about laying in bed, then she'll have another dream with him putting on the bracelet, and it's like just those dreams kept reoccurring. So now she's in the kitchen, right, and she found the receipt from the dinner, and there was the damn thing, because we all know that Brian is allergic to sesame, right? Sesame oil was on the receipt. And please note, these guys were together for a while. She was actually pregnant for him, and she lost the baby, and that's really why they broke up. So she knew all of what, you know, a basic relationship. She wouldn't have bought sesame oil, you know, and cooked it for him knowing that he's allergic. So as she looked at the receipt, she starts to remember what happened. She remember getting the phone call, which was the doctor. She remembered his voice completely well, and she remember cooking the dinner. She remember him putting the sesame oil in the salad. She remember him eating and walking off to the bath. She remember everything. So instantly she went to Gina, her friend, to like, yo, I think the doctor is doing something to my mind. He's doing something to me. And instantly the friend is like, bull, you're talking bull. Nothing like that. Like, Dr. Mead is like the best. He wouldn't do something like that. And she's like, so she showed her the receipt, like, here's proof. Why would I buy sesame oil knowing that my ex-boyfriend Brian is freaking allergic? Why would I do something like that? And that's how they decide to say, oh shit, I skipped a part. Before she go and see Gina, she'd ended up starting to do research on Dr. Mead, right? And that's how she found out about the case with Andrea, and how Andrea had to actually put a restraining order on Dr. Mead because this man was legit stalking the friggin' woman. And Gina said, alright, what do you want to do? And she's like, alright, let's go to the police and report this. So it ended up that she met up with the detective that was in charge of Andrea's case, and he's like, why are you so interested in this case? And she's like, because I feel like this man is doing the same exact thing to me. And then, you know, him said, you know, I think you should find a new therapist. Like, seriously, find a new therapist. The case was already closed, and I don't think he wanted to really get back involved in it. But anyways, they ended up leaving, and that's when Gina confessed that she had actually seen Dr. Mead like in that said week of them meeting up, that Annie had hypnotized her and all he could speak about was Jennifer. And I'm like, girl, we just came out of the friggin' detective office and you said nothing. Like, why are you just telling me this now? Like, do you not see? Even when I had come to you and told you what I had known, that this man is friggin' crazy and I think he's doing something to me to alter my memory, and he didn't feel like bringing up all of this. Like, the friend was very sus to me. I didn't like her one bit. But even when they were coming out to the police station, you could feel like there was somebody watching her. And I obviously know that it must have been Dr. Mead, because was a stalkish tendency in the movie apart from Dr. Mead, right? Yeah. So my girl Jen decided, she came up with a plan that she's going to set an appointment with Dr. Mead, right? And she's going to try to record their session. Girl, like, honestly, the way she came in, it was obvious that she was up to something. Like, you know when you have a plan and you're just excited, well, not even excited, you're anxious, it can show on your face. And there was just this nervousness, there was this nervous look on her face. Like, girl, your face gave away everything. When she reached there, the crazy girl from earlier, she was there even looking more crazier than ever. And she gave Jen a look before she left. So, seated now in Dr. Mead's office, she recommended doing hypnosis. Like, you could have just eased the money night. Like, make him be the one for suggest it. Like, I swear, it was so freaking obvious. So, he did put her under the hypnosis thing. So, on her way to the car, and she pulled out her phone and listened back to the recording. And this happened.
Of course.
What? Such the healer?
Jennifer,
Yes.
are you under?
Yes.
Good. Now I'm going to ask you some questions. And you're going to tell me the truth. Why did you really come see me today?
To record you.
Yes, you heard right. The man basically asked her, what are you doing? And she told him everything. And he ended it with the word, my love. It just creeped me the fuck out. Like, I don't know, from even after that happened, you think she should have stayed away from him. But no, she did not. She realized that, yeah, he does have a hand in everything what's going on with her memory and stuff, and that he's basically the one who killed Andrea. Like, he did something to Andrea. Like, they figure by now that he must have done something to her to have caused her to die in that elevator. So she instantly called her best friend Gina to say, girl, where are you? You need to stay away from Dr. Mead. Well, they already said it, but she calling her to, you know, inform me, like, just come, like, there's something up, come home now. Like, legit, wherever you're going, just turn back and come home now. And the phone got disconnected, some like bad reception, and same time the unknown number called and Gina answered. She was in the car with her boyfriend, right? And they're driving, and she answered the phone, and it was Dr. Mead. And I'm like, instantly, why didn't he just hung up the friggin' phone? Like, just hang it up. From me hearing the man say, hey, this is Dr. Mead, why are you still having conversation with him? Just hang up the blasted phone. He's like, where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm driving. And he's like, perfect. And he's like, Gina, this is how the world ends. And her boyfriend beside her, I don't know if he was her boyfriend or her husband, but one off. And he's like, what the hell was that? And then instantly look over and she was freaking out because she's seen this friggin' ass spider crawling on her, right? And she was like, him can't see it obviously because it's in her mind, and she's there driving still and she's pressing the gas. And I'm like, dude, I don't know, take control, like grab her. I can't drive, so I don't know if it's, but I think you can do that. pull her over to you, I don't know, get control of the vehicle, do something, you're there, scream, what's wrong? And you see her panicking, you see her stepping on the gas, going through the traffic and stuff. They ended up dying, like she drove right into the path of a truck and they both died. So now when Gina finally reached the scene and she started bawling because she's blaming herself, which in my opinion, I think this is like kind of her fault. Like this is like about 40% her fault, you know. Like, girl, I think you're a bit. Although the friend was a bit stupid too, but I don't know. On a side note, Jennifer, does she look like the lady that plays Wonder Woman too? Like there's some resemblance. I see it. I asked my mom if she saw it and she's like, no, she don't. But I think they look alike. Can you tell me what you think? I wasn't wearing my glasses when I was watching the movie, so maybe, but I think they look alike. So now the detective show up at Dr. Mead's office to question him because basically him say, you know, I'm gonna open up by the case to some independent investigation, and him show up there and attack him out and basically say, yo, him notice a pattern, right? Like why him notice say there's only a certain type of person he does hypnosis on, like they have a certain feature, that long black hair, that kind of long face. Those are the type of females that he always hypnotize. Like, dude, you have a type, it's obvious. And why is it that all of those type of females always end up dead after you perform hypnosis on them? And he was getting a bit agitated, but you know, the detective stole a spoon that was there with his handprints in his pocket. And Dr. Mead basically like a low-key threat, asking him if he wants to get to be hypnotized. And he's like, I thought you only did it to men and to female. And he's like, I'd make an exception for you. But him just leave. But we all know that he was up to something. Like, Dr. Mead realized that, okay, people are after me and I need to get out. I need to do something. So we know that this man was up to something. And we realized that he's always one step ahead. So what was coming next never really surprised me. But he went over to Jen's house, right? And he basically brought over the file with Andrea's information on it, right? And so him tell her him found it dead, and basically told him what he found out and that she should be careful and stuff. So after that he left immediately. But as she was about to open the case and start reading it, the door knocked. And she thought it was him. But again, I think she keep making really stupid decisions. Because I know that this man is after me and I know what he's capable of, right? And instead of looking through the damn people, like, I guess somebody who knows that somebody's stalking them would do, she just flung open the door. And then this happened.
Did you forget something?
Hello, Jennifer.
Like, just okay, I would honestly love to know to do that. Like, somebody, you just tell them to stop and they just stop. Oh my god. But yeah, he does that and basically told her that Brian and the friend Gina was in his way and he's just doing this for them. So she's there stuck while he's there talking to her, and you know, like, him brush him hand against her cheek. And then as him leave, him said the release. She dropped to the floor, get up and run, go lock back the door after him already walk. When I was like, this dude has some crazy ass, like, men's power? Would we call this a power? This man was crazy. So now we're at the detective house, right? Him just reach home, him put on him gun, him put him phone for charge, and him hear one noise, right? And him get up, go look, him never seen it the first time. And then, like, it was the little crazy girl in his house. Like, she's so tiny. The both of them start to tussle, right? Like, some real serious. And I'm not telling, like, the girl did a hold her own. Like, as small as she was, she didn't hurt this man. She hurt this fine black man. She stabbed him a couple times, well, you know. And he it kept throwing her all over. I know, because she's so tiny. It was just treating her like she was a doll. Like, it just kept blinging her. And it should end up dying, because him slapped her with a box and she ended up hitting her head on the table. So now him in the hospital, and he's like, him can't let anybody know what's really happening, because he's doing this case independently, right? So nobody knows what's really going on, and I guess he want to keep it that way until they find concrete evidence, right? Because you don't want to seem like you're harassing this man and you don't have evidence, right? So he's talking to Jennifer at the hospital, right? And he's like, she came up with a plan that she has to do something, and he's like, no, like, leave it to me. Like, you know, girl, you have no training, and we already see that the man have control over you, right? Like, back up. But she determined, and we already know that she's not going to back off. She's going to do this. So now she left the hospital, and she decided that she was going to see another therapist. Like, this lady, I like this little old lady. She can do her things, right? So she's seen a new therapist, and she decided she wants to see if she could help her to unlock stuff, like just to remember stuff, what he has been doing to her during the session and stuff like that. So she said, alright, she could put her under, and instantly this happened.
Jen? Wake up, Jen. Jennifer. I need you to listen to the sound of my voice and come back to this room right now.
Yeah, we found out that Dr. Mead, as great of a therapist and a hypnosis that he is, had done something. He had basically put some locks on her mind. Like, so if anybody else tried to undo or to go in places that he doesn't want them to go, it can potentially kill her. So obviously you can imagine how frightened this poor lady was to see. Like, how would you explain? They said would have gone to prison for killing this woman, right? So anyway, she's letting her know that, you know, you have people like her, like the therapist, the old lady, and then you have people like Dr. Mead, the good and the bad. It's unfortunate because, you know, hypnosis can be something very powerful, and then you have people who do it for evil, like Dr. Mead on the other hand. Like, while Jen was under, she remembered like a certain address, a place, like the memories that she was already having, like, they seem a bit more intense now. She realized that, yeah, they did kind of accomplish something right here, right? Because she's a bit closer to figuring out what the hell Dr. Mead was doing this whole time, what he's really about. So as she was going, the therapist like, okay, I think I'm going to try to do something to basically counter what he has done to you. So like, if he use a certain phrase, right, that one friggin' phrase that he used, I wonder if you guys know what I'm talking. So if he used that phrase, it would unlock everything that he had done to her, and that's how they left that. So my girl now went and did her little research and found the address that she had seen in her dream, and she went there. So she knocked on the door, she not hear no answer. And you know, typical white people behavior, you're knocking and you're not answer, just open the door. So she go into the people them house, right? And she found a picture frame. And on the picture frame was Dr. Mead and his wife. Just to found out that, yeah, she turned on at him that he was right there. And he was like, yeah, so basically the mentor was his father. So it was one and the same person. So he did something to her, one of his words, but I think he was asleep and she passed out. Again, that shit is so freaking powerful. So when she did come to, she was back in his office, and she instantly called the detective and let him know that she's there, come help her. And him instantly called all of the police there. So yeah, she was there staring at the door, and then
Sir, there's no one here.
What the hell do you mean there's no one there?
The office is empty, sir.
This was happening, right? Because Dr. Me told her to wake up basically, and that's how we found out that she was in a completely different place than where the police were. He was not at the office. So yes, that man made everything around her in a basic illusion, right? So she thought she was in the office when she was at a completely different location. The police then notified the detective, and he instantly called base and tell him to find out like the mentor's address, because obviously if he's not here, he must be somewhere there, right? And we already came to the conclusion that the mentor is Dr. Me's dad, so I must dare say him there. So Jen is there with Dr. Me, like she's in this red dress, like from her memories and stuff, from her dreams, and then that's how she realized like this this man did inject memories into her head, like basically memories from his mind to her, to basically replace his wife. One them never work, yes them kind of look like her, but you definitely is the key. You're the one, you're like the exact perfect replacement for her. You have the looks, you have the smell. So yeah, even if you don't want to replace her, you're going to replace her because I want you to replace her. Do you not get this, Jennifer? You're going to be my wife. If you like it or not, I don't care. So, you know, all of this is happening while she's still frozen. And my skin crawl, my skin legit started to prick when he was starting to touch her. Because, you know, she has no control over her limbs. She's just there. And this man that she despised with all of her being is just rubbing up on her and then touching her. And then my mind went like, obviously this show, I need to check the rating, but it seems very PG because it didn't really say anything sexual in the show. But then I'm like, what has this man has been doing to Jennifer while she has been under? Like, we didn't see, but what if, you know, he was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing? Because he already see her as his wife, right? So who knows what this... Yeah, let's just... The detective snuck in, like I would even say snuck in. By the time they just kick open the door and make everybody know I'm reaching, because I don't know what the f was that. The man come in and then make the door slam behind him. So obviously Dr. Mead and Jennifer heard and instantly
No, Jennifer, don't let go.
I swear, you know that I know a lot of dumb. Immediately she started to scream for help, and I'm like, girl, this man is trying to find a potential, not a potential, because he's a friggin' murderer, right? He's trying to find this killer, and you're
No! Rollins, no! Please don't go! You can't go!
Girl, just like on the damn bedpost, like, just let go. So he's there looking for Dr. Mead, and they started to tussle, right? But please note, my dude here, the detective, is not 100, he's like probably at 60%, because the girl did stab him up wicked. So he's there and they're battling. Jennifer ended up releasing herself. I guess the mind thinks she worked through it and she let go of that damn bedpost and came. So while they're tussling, the gun, you know, like basic movie thing, the gun got pushed over and there was Jen, and she come in, she pull up the gun, and then Dr. Mead said,
Jennifer, sleep!
So she woke up and she's in the detective's arms, and he's telling her like, girl, you did it, you're a great shot, you saved my life. And he's there comforting her, and I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like from there I was like, how am I touch her? So that kind of weird, but I don't know, I'm not a touchy person, so I don't know, it was kind of weird to me to see, but maybe it's normal for other people. He was there, you know, he had her in his arm and he was rubbing her down. I know everything is okay, it's gone, whatever. And then
I promise, my love.
and he said, "My love." He said, "My love." And we all know that's Dr. Mead's word, right? So remember when I told you that the therapist did something to counterattack what he had done to Jennifer's head, right? Her brain. And that was the key. That freaking line, "My love," is what had unlocked everything that he had done to her. And that's why she realized that, yeah, I'm actually in this friggin' man's arm. She instantly started fighting, like kick him in the eye. And they started to fight and whatever, and she run off from him, and that's when she found my dude, the detective. She shot the freaking detective, guys. He pointed her to the gun that was in his around his ankle, and she pulled it out just in time when Dr. Mina come and bust a shot on him, and that's how you know that she's a sucky shooter. And why she shot the detective, because she shot him in the arm, right? And then him started to come even closer, and she bust some more shots in him and just kill him, and him just dropping in the chair. And I'm like, he kind of dead too easy, you know? Him kind of dead way too easy. Like, but yeah, you know, I wanted him to go through at least some psychological torture. I don't know, get that therapy lady for put some stuff in him head for make him seem like him a go mad for say shit where him not say like, I died way too easy. This man tortured and killed women too much to die just like that. Like, him get a peaceful death. I'm never like that. I never like that at all. So she shot him dead, and my dude went to the hospital. Oh guys, Brian is actually still in a coma, and we've seen that it's been months. Yeah, it had been months. So Brian really got a shitty bro. Like, this poor dude had gotten a hand dealt to him, like, that him could even control. I felt so sorry for Brian. Like, ended up the detective guy ended up getting a promotion, and that's basically how the show went. That's really how the ending was. It was lukewarm, but the movie in itself was a great movie, and I really think if you didn't watch it and you're watching this now, you should go ahead and watch it. Like, seriously, if spoilers doesn't bother you, I think you should go and watch this movie. So that was it from me. Thank you for actually sticking around to the very end. So if there's any question, like, we can literally talk about this in the comments below. Follow me on all my social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, bye guys.